Hello, everyone.
Hey everybody.
I'll just interrupt me. Thank you very much. I'll start that again. Hello, everyone. And Ashley, you can speak now.
Hey Matt.
And welcome to another episode of Honest to Pod with me, Matthew Ali. And me, Ashley McAllister. He's busy on his phone. How's your week been?
Sorry, I was just posting on Instagram saying that we're all ready for it. Yeah, week's been good. I had my first Christmas party of the season on Saturday night.
Saturday? That's so annoying.
Oh,
That's a very good idea. I don't understand why Christmas parties are always during the week and no one books a day off afterwards.
well, I can understand why work parties are on during the week because I don't want to be hungover on my own time. I want to be hungover on work time.
Oh, really? That's so bizarre.
No, because I think after the Christmas party, if you rock up late, then it's fine because you like the Christmas party, and then like nobody expects work done the night after the Christmas party. Like, I mean, they say they do, but they don't.
And you start work at 12.
I start work at 12, yeah. But my work party's on a Friday this year, so.
That's so interesting. I guess I always thought they didn't do it because like places were busy, so they either wouldn't be able to take the booking or it costs more money, and that's why like offices and stuff do it during the week. That's what I always assumed. And I should have done that because I always put the day off afterwards. But now that I don't work in the restaurants and I don't have to be there at a certain time and actually, I don't know, serve customers and stuff, it's all right having like drunk breath, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, may as well. I'm going to do that next time.
I used to come in after the Christmas party in my you remember Dave?
Yeah.
My boss. He'd be crawled under the floor in a ball.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I think the day after the Christmas party is you just look for the stories and the regrets.
Well, no. So I had mine on Thursday, and it wasn't as debaucherous as it has been. But the past 2 years, I've been the hot mess, and then the accounts team had taken out a vote whether it be me or one other person. So I don't like hearing about the stories because it's always about me. Yeah. Last year, the Christmas party, well, the year before, I was quite responsible. I got so drunk. I left at 5. I was in bed at 7 p.m.
5 in the morning?
5 p.m. I left. Was in bed at 7 p.m. from the work party. Ours is a lunch, like it starts at 12.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not after work, so you take out the day. It's actually a work day, so that's pretty decent.
Yeah. And
then last year, I was really hammered again, blacked out. Apparently, I was really rude to a bunch of people. But it was their fault. It was some new friends that I'd made, like work, we're good friends now. But they didn't know what I was like, and they were trying to like force me to do stuff and, or like, were like, oh, you need to take care of him and this and the other. And then my other friend was like, no, he's fine, just leave him be, he'll be okay. And then they were trying to like, Matt, come, and I was like, fuck off. Fuck off, fuck away from me. Because I'm going to make my way home. I know like I'll be fine. But then I woke up in Walthamstow, which is nowhere near where I live, on a platform by someone from work who lives in Walthamstow, but like 4 hours later. So I must have set myself on a bench.
Oh my God.
I was like, Matt, you all right? And I was like, oh yeah. And he was like, you need to get home over. So he woke me up, and then just as the train came, I threw up all over the platform. And then I made it home.
Oh, Matt.
And this year was great. No events happened. I didn't make a fool of myself. I danced a lot. And I'm pretty certain 2 guys came on to me, and I want nothing to do with them.
Oh, wow.
And I think everyone's breath stank.
Everybody's breath stank?
Yeah, boy. I was dancing, and people were coming around and stuff, and I was like, what's going on? Does everybody smell?
Maybe it was your breath.
No, don't be silly. But yeah.
Well, our Christmas party was mad. I have to say, I drank so much. I have to say, somebody explained to me what the term, this is going to sound so stupid, but what the term blacking out means. I was just saying, oh, I drank so much, I can't really remember anything that happened. I'm like, right. So you blacked out? I'm like, that's not blacking out. In my head, blacking out is when you pass out. Like, I was so drunk, I passed out.
Oh, no.
Because anytime somebody's like, oh, we blacked out, I was like, I've never blacked out. I have blacked out so many times.
I was going to say you never have. Because some people haven't, in their adult life, they're like, oh, I've never not known what's happening. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? That's a regular occurrence. Or it was, especially when I first started drinking. Like, literally, like, hours in the day that you cannot account for, isn't it? Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, Jesus, I drank so much. I think I tried to add up. I had at least 10 pints of Guinness. And then I had vodkas, we had shots, and I started drinking whiskey. Went back to a house party, had whiskey.
10 pints of Guinness is a lot.
I think I had more than 10. I can't
But
remember.
just the whole, like, that many pints. I would never drink that many pints.
Apparently when I'm drunk, I turn into Oprah.
What, you do it now, babe. She tried to give you advice to everybody. No one wants to hear.
I was giving all these straight people relationship advice.
Apparently you know everything.
Of course.
Apparently you know fucking everything.
Drunk Ashley is wise. He is.
Sober Ashley is not. And yet he does the same thing, Ashley.
Yeah, it was mad. I also revealed who my gym crush was unintentionally.
It was all of them?
No.
Was it someone at the party?
No, it wasn't at the party.
But he regularly attends?
Well, I'm not going to say any more because some of them listen. I'm not going to give anything else away in case...
But they already know.
Not everyone knows.
I'm like, look, listen. They're all really hot, attractive workout men. I'm pretty certain they all assume that you just fancy them more. And in fact, you lied to yourself when you said that you don't.
You don't. You don't fancy every just because they're hot. You're taking personality.
No, you fancy everyone because they're hot.
I definitely don't.
You only care about their exterior, not their interior.
That's so not true.
Oh my God. You're so
No,
suspicious.
What you're trying to say is I just happen to pull really banging guys.
I said that before, it's true.
Yeah. I don't know why.
The rule is host before bros. You will cut a bitch out if it meant you could sniff someone who was hot.
Do you remember in Sydney with
I remember all of the experiences that happened to me.
the I won't say his name, but you know who.
Yeah, I know exactly.
And you're like, oh, I just met this most amazing guy, and I was like, oh, so have I. And then you pointed to him out, I was like, oh yeah, I met him too. And then I was like, look, I was chatting to him, and he's got a partner. And you're like, no, and I'm like, yeah, sorry. And there was me, you, Luke, and Tom, and we were like,
no, because we said
sorry, guys.
Bet to see who'd get him.
Well, it turned into a bet. But I was like, yeah, he's got a partner, guys. And Luke was like, oh, that's shit. I'm like, yeah, no, it's really bad, isn't it? Oh, well, let's move on. And you just looked at me in the side. You're like, nope.
I was like, oh, I know what you're doing.
And when Ashley plays, he plays to win.
Oh my God. It was a competition beforehand. We were saying to be like, okay, look, we all like him. Let's just see, best man wins, whatever. Whoever talks to him. And then you were like, oh, I've spoken to him. He's already in a relationship. But you were like, this is good though. We both believed it. We were both like, oh man, that's so shit. Can't believe it.
Yeah.
Well played. Exactly, that's what I mean. You'll cut a bitch. I don't know. Talk to him. You did put him in all fairness.
Yeah, we went out we had a date in Sydney. We went out for dinner and drinks.
Yeah, he was really hot. He still is really hot. I had another bunch of dates cancelled, so that was great.
Oh, well, at least you get dates. I have.
Filled with joy.
At least you're getting dates, though.
With who?
Well, they just cancel, but they're scheduled.
That's not a good thing.
It's better than not even having a date.
Is it? Is it?
Maybe not.
Because you actually like work your, at least like I'm like, oh, it's basically like I'm getting dressed and ready, or it'll get to the day and then it's gone, midday, and we've spoken about this,
Yeah, I would.
And the message been like, so, because they know it's not because they haven't messaged you in like 2 days, whatever, and you're like, I have to ask, is it still on then? And they're like, oh, I can't. I'm like, wicked. No, I have nothing to do all evening, but you know what? I have nothing to say about that except fuck men, fuck them all.
You should give out relationship advice, like I do.
Yeah, I should. Apparently, you do. I saw a post on Instagram where someone was like, "How are you giving relationship advice when you're always single?" And they were like, "Coaches don't play."
Well, exactly.
So you don't play the game; you just coach people on how to do it.
But I think everybody I gave relationship advice to, the advice was break up. Yeah, apparently I'm a miserable, bitter gay.
You're like, women are the worst. You know what's really good? Men's asses.
No, I gave a relationship advice to a woman as well. I was like, break up.
You said go for women as well. Get off my man. All right. Anyway, should we get into some topics?
Yes. Just a heads up, I will have to run out when my alarm goes off. I've got some sausages in the oven that I'm cooking.
Gluten-free meatless sausages.
Yum, wrapped in bacon.
It's not Christmas Day yet.
I know, but I bought this stuff for fry for my hangover yesterday. But then I didn't actually. I was sort of in the stance of I didn't want to eat, so I didn't eat anything yesterday. And then I sat there. My mum's like, "Use them or lose them." So I'll use them.
Breakfast for dinner is great.
Yeah, I'm gonna literally take them out of the oven when we finish recording. Put some beans on, put some eggs on, put some hash browns on.
Can you have hash browns?
Yes.
Oh, amazing. Well done. Cool.
Thanks.
Anyway, why don't you go first?
I will. So, you've seen around all the rainbow laces that have been going around.
Yeah, we had to do it in our games as well. Not had to do it, pardon me. We did do it.
Yeah, you chose to do it.
Yeah. Well, I only did one because I couldn't get the other one off. It was really difficult, and I was like, okay, one lace is enough.
Yeah, and it's for people who don't know. It is Stonewall's Rainbow Laces campaign, and the campaign sees sports team don rainbow laces, armbands, rainbow attire to just sort of raise inclusivity for the LGBT community in sports. I think a lot of people out there think that homophobia is a thing of the past, but obviously happens every day. Look at a couple of weeks ago, Gareth Thomas beat up.
Yeah, so he's an ex-international rugby player for Wales.
Yeah, and the Lions. 6'5", isn't he, or something like that?
Massive, gigantic.
Who would go up to a 6'5" tank? A 16-year-old, an idiot. That's who. Yeah, so it's still out there, and that's why things like this is important. Actually, yeah. Matt, have you ever received homophobia? Any form of homophobia?
I think. I mean, just like little things, like when you're out in Soho. Like sometimes I'd be drunk and like holding like my boyfriend's hand, and someone would say something, but no, I wouldn't say anything that's really like stood out to me.
Nothing aggressive, like violent.
No one's come at me. Like no one's come at me and said anything. But then saying that, because I always assumed that because I was like a big black guy, like no one would. But you could be Gareth Thomas and the same thing happens, I guess. No, I would say that it would be like microaggressions as opposed to like significant things that I could actually think about. You?
No, just the one I talked about before in the local pub where I said I was gay, and he's like, "Let's go fight." And I'm like, "No,
absolutely not."
I do joke. There's a guy at the gym who we were paired up last week training, or the week before, I can't remember. But we were talking about weights, and he picked the heavier weights. He's a big guy, and I said, I'm going to go for the lighter ones. He goes, "Oh, just do the heavier ones. Don't be such a poof." I was like, I am a poof, and I'm still going to do the weights I want to do.
Does he know that you're gay for some reason?
He didn't know I was gay.
Not that it would make a difference, really, but I just want to know.
Well, yeah, I mean, per choice of words, but he didn't know, and he has since apologized. So, like, he came up actually on Saturday night. He came up and gave me a very nice 3-hour long apology.
An hour long? Oh, he's drunk, obviously.
3 hour long. It was. I had my legs over his legs at the end at the house party, and we all just sat on the sofa.
I'm sorry. I will say that actually recently. Remember I told you about the time I went to that pub quiz with one of my friends from work?
Yeah,
I would say that although it wasn't a homophobia, it was like insensitivity, but it's the opposite to that. This person knew that we were gay, so I thought it was more of a reason why he could start calling everyone faggots and calling me a faggot. And I was like, one, we're not friends, okay, so it's not okay for you to call me that, and it's not okay to start using just because your friend who is repressing himself is okay with you using that term because he doesn't want to stir up any trouble.
Yeah. See, like somebody else asked, was I really like offended by it? I don't get personally, I don't get offended by it. I'm not saying because I don't get offended by it, you should be okay to use it. You shouldn't use the word. I'm not going to be offended by it, but you can't judge every single other person by my standards. So
And that's what my friend said at the time. And I was really upset by him because he was like, well, I don't get offended by it. And I was like, because you want to be friends with them. In fact, you were just saying you're really happy to be in a group of friends. So you're going to let them say these things to me and other people because you're saying it's okay. And I don't think that's okay. I also think you should stand up for those people and say that it's not okay, even if you're not personally offended.
Yeah, I totally agree.
We've gone on a tangent, obviously.
Ovs. So yeah, homophobia in sport. So recently, Manchester United wore armbands on their kit with the rainbow. And but actually it wasn't just them, it was Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal. And it said that Manchester United received more than 43,000 homophobic comments after supporting Rainbow Laces campaign. 43,000 homophobic comments. So it says here, on the Manchester United official Facebook page, many wrote, "Say no to LGBT. God created Adam and Steve, not Adam and Lukaku." Who's that?
That kind of made me laugh. But no, it's not right.
Is Lukaku a player?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Somebody said Gaychester United, and football is a healthy sport. LGBT lifestyle will make the situation unhealthy.
That is truly the most disgusting thing.
Isn't it just disgusting? So Kirsty Clark, Stonewall's director of sport, said this year's campaign is about giving people confidence to be active allies and show their visible support for LGBT people either on or off the pitch, which I think is nice. I have a LGBT Rogue top. Rogue's a brand of CrossFit gear, which is pretty awesome as well. And I think little things like this, or I think we've talked about before, where I think we mentioned about pride and how it is sort of, it's okay having all these rainbows in a city, but if nobody can see it in the small digs in the country, what effect is it having? So when for example, New Zealand wore the rugby laces after the Gareth Thomas event, Manchester United won, these are two of the biggest teams in the world, like showing their support for LGBT inclusivity. And I'm not going to upset football people out there by saying, well, no, I'm going to say it, because I think football people will say themselves, it's a very different sport than rugby.
Football's disgusting.
Mm-hmm.
The behaviour is disgusting to me. I play football on a Thursday, and I watch, and my brother and my friends, all big football fans, and when you watch a football game and you watch rugby, they're completely different.
Totally different.
It is disgusting in football.
It's the mentality of a rugby supporter is very different than the mentality of a football supporter. I mean,
supporter, player, official, all of those involved, their behaviour and their mindset and their attitude is completely different.
But what is encouraging is like teams like Man United doing this, and big teams, Chelsea and Arsenal, using these bands of support. So a spokesperson for Arsenal said, "We are very..." Oh, that's my sausages ready. Back in a second. I'll give him 5 more minutes. A spokesperson for Arsenal said, "We're very proud to be supporting the Rainbow Laces campaign and do a great deal of work to promote equality across all levels of the game. As Facebook is the platform where these views are being shared, we are assuring all of our Arsenal for everyone initiatives and messages, plus ways to report anti-LGBT language on the match day are posted by this platform." It is, it shocked me because, I don't know, at 43,000 homophobic, and it reminded me about how far we have to go.
To be accepted.
Sorry?
To be accepted.
For being me, like I think I'm very lucky that I've never had any serious form of hate thrown at me. And I know people out there, I know there are straight people out there who are at the point where anytime something LGBT comes up, it's an eye roll and it's like, oh, come on, guys, what else do you guys want? I don't think it's too much to ask to just want to not be hated for being me. Do you know what I mean? And I know I'm personally, as far as I know, people just don't hate me for being me. I mean, I'm a dick, so I guess people hate me for being a dick. But you know,
No, but it's not you for being you. They hate you for their preconception or their preconceived ideas of you. So they assume that because you're gay, you're all these other things. When it's not you, it forms a part of you, and it's a small part, but it isn't you. It doesn't define you. And then to use that as a definition for who you are and who I am and who others are is incorrect.
Yeah. And the thing that annoys me the most is there's going to be kids. Because what age are you on Facebook? Like, you can be 13.
There's an age restriction to 18-year-olds, apparently.
No, there's not.
So people make fake ages.
Yeah, well, no, I think you can be 13 to be legally on social media. Like, if you're under 13.
I thought Facebook specifically, but anyway, a young age. Saying,
well, I know it's 13 for Instagram, and I imagine because Facebook's owned by Instagram, or Instagram.
I know that someone changed the age on Facebook, and so recently they were on Chappy, which is like a gay dating app, and you have to log in through Facebook. You have to have a Facebook account to do it, and so your age is already on there, and the age was like 3 years above his, because like, oh shit, yeah, I had to put that age to get on Facebook, and now people think I'm 26 when I'm actually 22.
Somebody thought I was 26 today.
Was it a 3-year-old?
No, it was he's 26 and he found out my age. He goes, "Oh my God, I thought you were my age." And I'm like, "I love you."
Are you having a good skin day?
I doubt it. I mean,
you've never had a good skin day. Sorry, it's stupid.
Just having a good face day. So much face. I have such a good face.
A lot of face, it's true.
Anyway, the point I was making is, you've got 13-year-olds on these groups watching or seeing these comments go up on big football, which, there's kids out there, seeing these things and thinking that, first of all, it's either okay to say this, or second of all, if they're gay, thinking, shit, this is bad.
They don't want to play football.
Yeah, they don't want to play football. They don't want to be themselves. Like, I had my haircut the other day, and I had my haircut by a girl I went to school with, and we were talking about homophobia, and we were talking about bullying, and I told her that, at school I was bullied, and I've said it before, I tried to kill myself, and she had no idea. And it's just like, a lot of people don't realize what's going on, especially at that age, that how much these things affect kids and adults. Like, it's scary. But what I'd love is for people to be calling out this bullshit of homophobia a lot more. I've got on rants with people on Instagram and LinkedIn where they, like I've said before, and I know I'll get told off again, but I think if you're against same-sex marriage, you're homophobic. It's just my stance on it. And I just don't think enough happens to promote equality, in my opinion. And it's nice to put a rainbow flag on your shoulder and show that with support, but it's clearly not working. There needs to be bigger changes in football to make a big change. Like, I don't think it's a step in the right direction, these rainbow races, but it's clearly not enough.
Well, I think they're slow on the uptake. Like, it's one of those sports and one of those atmospheres where they're still quite backdated in their behaviour towards differences and people, because there's still a lot of racism in football. A lot of fans will call players monkeys and shout abuse at them. That happens even today.
Mad, yeah, true.
Like, it's so behind. It's so behind. So it is a start. Bigger things need to happen and continue. But things like this will make me think there'll never be an out football player, because
exactly,
being a football player and then suddenly all of this happens, and you're like, oh, actually they're taking a step now. Suddenly, all of these people throw all this hate. There's nothing, you can't be open. You can't be honest with people in the wider world because you're scared of what people's reaction is. So yeah, that's really horrible. I have little respect for football players and watching football, actually, and that just makes it even worse for me, I must admit.
I watched a tiny bit of football on Saturday night. I wasn't impressed.
It's just all the rolling around. It's behaving like children. It's pushing the referees and no respect. There's such little respect because the players know, especially the top level players, that that's what people come to see. And then the referees are scared to penalise these players that are touching them because they're not here to see the refs. They're here to see these like highly, highly paid players who have always been told that they're amazing. And suddenly it's okay for them to roll around the floor and like have tantrums and shit like that. No, it's not okay. They started doing that in rugby recently, and now the rules have gotten really strict because they can see that some players start talking to them. And now, instead of like softening, they've gotten even harder because like, absolutely not. You will not lose the respect to the game. You will not lose the respect to the game.
Mm.
And I think that's so important. It's so important.
Do you annoy me in the New Zealand? Did you watch the New Zealand Ireland match?
No, the one where they won. No, I didn't. No.
Yeah.
What?
What annoyed me is Wayne Barnes was there chatting, "Hey mate," to all the New Zealand ones. I'm like, there was a time when there was like 5 penalties in 5 minutes, all by New Zealand. I'm like, stop saying mate and get the fucking cards out, please, because stop having your Kiwi.
But that's difficult. You can't be unbiased in this situation.
I can't be unbiased, but I can have an opinion, and it's valid.
Oh, I don't know if it's valid. You can have an opinion. I don't know whether it's valid or not.
It is valid.
But I didn't watch the game.
Well, I know I did.
But you're not objective in this situation.
I'm totally objective.
Just because you said mate. They know a lot of the players by name and stuff. Like, you know, they experience people a lot.
Yeah, but he's an international coach or international referee. He didn't say any of that to the Ireland team. I mean, he'll know them. And he wasn't letting Ireland. Well, Ireland are well disciplined, but he wasn't letting. You know what? At the end of the way, I'm not complaining because it was all those penalties given away that got us the game. I just think, as a standard, Wayne Barnes is bringing it down.
Well, this is not a rugby podcast, so I meant there.
Mm. Are we doing a special rugby podcast for Six Nations? We talked about it.
I don't know if we got enough. I don't know who listens, but I don't know if we've got enough rugby fan followers. Do we?
I don't know.
I don't know if it'll speed. We'll have to do an additional one. I think it's important to do if we were to do that. So we might have to do 2 that week or something, like a shorter one. That was our commentary on it. But we'll see. We'll decide then. We've got a while. We've got 2 months or so.
Yeah, 2 months. That was all I want to talk about for that. So
I think it's a good thing to highlight. I can't believe that, you know, they're just bringing us.
What I would say, if there's straight people listening, I know there are out there. Thanks for listening. And also, you know, if you've got gay friends, just drop them a message and say hello. Just, you never know. It's a difficult time, and I don't know. It upset me. Like when I read that today, I was actually a bit upset.
I know, it's bad.
I don't know if I'm still a bit hungover, but it really affected me quite badly.
Huh?
How can people fucking moan about I don't know. It disgusted me.
I know we normally like sort of talk about things that we tend to like discuss or argue, and I don't know if we strongly express our opinions, but it does fill me with like feelings of like anger and like hate towards these people. Like, it's just ridiculous to think this is okay in this day and age. You know, to probably do that and just let people who they want to be. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Cool.
On to you.
So, I had something in mind, which I then forgot about, which is great because I was on Facebook last night and someone had laughed at this video that was on Vice.
On what?
Vice, it's like some sort of like online magazine. There was a post about this women of color retreat in Costa Rica. So I watched it. It was a video on Vice that was about 7.5 minutes long, and it was about this person who decided to leave her life in New York because she visited South America. She was tired of the racism in America and constant racism and stuff like that, and the oppression and stuff. And then she went around South America and fell in love with Costa Rica. Then basically gave up work, made a retreat exclusively for women of color. So it's called Women of Color Healing Retreat. And you go there to have a break from white people. That was literally like the first line or second line that was in the video. So I was like, fuck, man. That kind of statement to me like would incite hate. I don't know whether at first, so that was like my thought. I was like, that's reverse racism. Because then these women were like, you know, their time there and stuff. Then this beautiful place in Costa Rica. This woman called Satya X, they don't know her last name, she created it. And they go there to heal through holistic ways. And it's to heal all of like the feelings that you have and to just feel comfortable around people that are like you, the same. there's different sessions, and you spend some time there, and it's a safe space just to be black. And then we showed some women talking about how they feel in regular life, where, you know, here no one's going to ask to touch my hair, or not touch my hair, but also just touch my hair, because that's what happens to black women a lot. Or you know, black people, oh, your hair's nice, let me touch it, or feel like they're being overlooked for certain, I don't know, opportunities and stuff. Do you think it's okay to have an all-black women holiday? And what got me actually, sorry, I was saying last thing is, it's called Women of Color, but it's exclusively for black African Americans.
Okay.
Or women, black African. And I was like, that's not all women of color. That's not people of color, because people of color is quite broad, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, but I don't like the term.
Person or I don't like the term person. Pardon?
I don't like the term people of color.
Say that again? You don't like the term people of color?
No.
Why?
Well, I just think it's so vague. I mean,
well, yeah, it basically means non-white, then, isn't it?
Well, that's the thing. White's a color.
I don't think so in terms of like ethnicity and stuff.
I don't know. I just I
don't think that's the point. You can't say white is a color.
Well, no, but I mean, well, you can say white is a color. I think. Well, I mean, I don't want to go off topic, but I'm not a big fan of people of color. The term people of color. Did I just say I'm not a fan of people of color?
Yes, you said you're racist.
Oh shit! Nah, I have something to tell you. I'm a big old racist.
You didn't need to tell me. I could tell.
But do I think it's okay for there to be a on a personal level? I don't think it's okay, but she can do what she wants. But I would say, what did you say the term was? She said escape white people.
They're having a break from white people.
Have a break from. If a white person was to do that and say, have a break from black people, oh my God, the fury would be unleashed.
So that was like part of my thought.
I mean, I'm the type of person who, even though I'm massively racist, I do think there's things that's happened. Like, white people have had it better without a doubt. Like, you don't even have to question it. And I do think there should be things in place to, I don't want to say push black people along, but encourage them to go out and do more. For example, an example in my head is I do think there should be more educational funds out there to help black people in underprivileged situations, because they've been a victim over the generations and there's poverty. But I would say, you know, I don't know, I'm talking out of my ass, because I think there's...
No, I agree with you.
There's also poor white kids out there who don't get the same opportunity. And if you say this is only for black people, then the white people or Asian people, or whatever else, people who aren't people of color.
It's like that our previous podcast about the person who imitated or said he was, you know, a person of color. He said he was African to get that scholarship, not scholarship. What was
job?
It?
Got a job.
It was a job, yeah, the job, and we both agreed that was okay, because in an ideal world, everyone would get like things on merit, but in the world that we're in, you need to provide different opportunities and more opportunities for you know, unrepresented areas, so that it does entice, it does show balance, it does show that opportunities are available for everyone. And so I agree with you. In principle, it sounds like, why would you need an all-black space? But then if you don't feel like and if you're white and say you want an all-white space, it would be basically saying that you hate black people or people of color. But in the world that we're in, white people, you know, if you're, especially in this, they would say, well, like, white people have that in their everyday lives. White people should feel safer in their everyday lives for that reason, because they're not under the same scrutiny as those that are not white. Well,
it's the same I say in gay bars.
That's exactly what I was going to go on to.
Yeah. Like,
if someone said, Matt, do you want to go on an all gay men holiday? I would be like, I will book my tickets now. In fact, I'm doing that next year. I'm going to Gay Ski Week in March, because I want to be around like-minded people. But it doesn't, in all fairness, I don't know about this rule. It doesn't say you can't be straight to go.
That's the thing. You don't have gay bars where you're like, actually, you're straight, you can't get in.
I think you have it in some places. They used to. You ever used to go to them and like, do you know, Me and my brother used to go a lot. Like, he would come with me to gay bars, especially when I first came out, so in my early 20s. He would come with me to gay clubs a lot. In fact, I'd be the only gay one out of me and my, like, 3 friends from home. But they would come with me because I didn't have any gay friends.
But were they rejected for being straight?
No, well, they weren't rejected. I don't know if they would if they were all straight, but they'd be like, do you know what kind of club this is? And they're like, yeah. Or they'd be like, are you gay? And then
Yeah, you know.
I'd be like, I'm definitely gay, just to put it out there.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even say it like you know, with a little bit more sass, or whatever.
But I think that's I mean, that's an all right question to ask. Like, I've been asked going into a bar in Belfast, oh, have you been here before? I fully know what is behind this door. I know it.
Yeah, but I had it in my mind that maybe it was for the benefit of the people coming in, because there's a pub in London that looks like just a regular pub. It doesn't have like a flag on the outside. It's not on the main Old Compton Street, like, you know, halfway to heaven. So because it's an old man pub, a lot of families will walk in there looking for the toilet, looking for a drink and stuff.
Oh, yeah. They make us when they
figure downstairs and they'll be like, what on earth have I just walked into?
So true.
And because things happen during the day there.
Yeah, I've seen it happen so many times, even in the Duke of Wellington, where guys have come in because there's sport on. They've come in and like, hey, and then yeah, let's go.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like gay bars. I think you were going to say something about gay bars and just saying like you want to go to them. I want to go to them because I do feel safer. I just feel more comfortable now.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say straight people couldn't go into a gay bar.
And this website doesn't say exclusively that, like, well, it just says it's for black women, and I don't know if someone wanted to go to it. I just found it really interesting because I was like, obviously there's a lot more racism in America than there is here, right? People are treated differently. I believe that that's true. Do you know how much it costs, this retreat?
No.
$3,333.
She is on a money scheme.
So I was looking into it because I was like, this is ridiculous. And it kind of just gets rid of everything that I was saying, but we'll go on to it. So then some people had gone, they'd actually gone to it. And this is quite a recent thing. Within the past like 2 months or so, and just within this year, a lot of people have lost money because it turns out that it's a scam. People are paying all of the money to go there. They've been getting regular responses, and this person has been scamming them. So this black woman has been taking vulnerable black people, exploiting them.
Bad.
Isn't that bad?
That's really bad. So the whole thing's a scam?
It seems to be now. It seems like people have been there before and not got what they expected because it's been oversold massively on the website. So if you go into like women of colors, you literally have to type in, the website is called, there's a whole website, it is on articles and stuff like that. It's called Women of Color Healing Retreats.com. Colors with no U because it's America. And there are websites, there's articles, Vice actually did it. People made articles, so they went at some point, and then it started saying, and then if you go back like 2 years ago, it'd be like, oh, I'm going, it was amazing. Then there are some places being like, I went, but it didn't really meet my expectations, but it was magical. Then it started saying, I went there and it was completely not what I expected. And then now recently, you see something that just like, I sent the money, she was aggressively harassing us saying, we'll lose our money if we don't respond. Then by the time I got to it, there was no response, there was no place, there were no details given, and they lost their money.
Here, it's a nice website.
Yeah.
It's really professional looking.
Well, it's been going on for a while, apparently, but most recently it's found out to be a scam. What gets me then is to feel the needs to. So these individuals would look at it and be like, well, some are saying they want to support like black-owned businesses, you know?
Yeah.
Because they do it, black women, they want to make sure they're empowered and want to support them, so they go and do that. But, so they completely exploit essentially what you'd say is your own kind, right? Your own kind of person. It's just insane, isn't it?
It's bad. It makes me uncomfortable because it's basically picking on people. If somebody's in the mindset where they want to get away, like in my head, if somebody's in the mindset that they want to escape, you know, white people, so to speak, then there's something that's been happening and they're vulnerable, and this woman is exploiting that.
That's what I thought. My first thought was like, this is ridiculous. This is literally reverse racism. You're now being exclusive instead of inclusive, and just say you don't want to speak to white people anymore. I thought it was just a bit ridiculous. But then I started thinking, well, something must happen to you to feel so strongly, and now you're being exploited. And I think that behavior is disgusting. There's a free Kids of Color program on the website as well, if you look. So in New York, they've got like, they want to promote it with kids. So it's women and children. They want to promote like this holistic and healing process of like the racism that lives in America. So now I don't know whether they actually held courses, but they're actually including children now. It's free, which is good. But if it's fake, then it's all just exploitation, isn't it? And there's pictures of children.
But you know what would be a nicer message to send?
What?
It would be bringing white kids and kids of every color together and teaching them about love rather than hate and segmenting kids.
Especially like children. You need to everyone because you want to break that behavior.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just, to me, reinforcing, like you say, well, racism.
There was a woman that made this article, and she talks about her horrible experience because she needed to leave a day early because she wanted to empower Black women. She went along, she thought she could use it. Turns out it wasn't what she expected. She was speaking to the person who made it, and the person, Satia, her name is, therapy is created by the white person, and Black people need to heal themselves. And the woman was like, well, that's ridiculous. But this person actually said that to this. So yeah, Satia said that to this woman who went and supported her. Mine's kind of thinking too hard. Mine is like, I started looking around, and I'm a bit annoyed that actually this is actually fruitless because, you know, it's not a real thing. But I'm also glad it's not a real thing because people are being exploited. But the other thing is like, would something like that, I did come around to the idea that actually if you feel the need to do that, because I likened it to being gay, like I like going to gay safe spaces where I feel more comfortable.
But yeah, I mean, it's going to be impossible for me to say anything on that because I have no idea what it's like to be Black. It's going to be hard for you to say it because you're Black, but things in America are an extreme compared to here. So I don't know. I mean, from your point of view, do you feel there's a need to go off of Black people?
For me personally, I don't think so.
Black men, not because they didn't say it was a Black retreat, it's a Black women retreat. So
I don't feel the need to, but I think I've always been around like I was being surrounded by like white people more than I have been Black people, to be honest. But I understand the need for it. Like I understand not the need for it, the wants to be like, okay, I want to be around like-minded people. If I was talking about being gay,
in my head now, I'm just thinking it just takes one experience. Like you could just go out. Well, maybe not one experience, but a build up of experiences. And you know, if somebody was gay and they're going out and they're getting homophobic every single way they look, they'd be like, you know, I want to just escape straight people. Like this is just like my safety's at risk here.
But not even on a grand scheme. It's those small things. Maybe they call them microaggressions. It's more like having to come out every time you go to work, or you know, I'm going to a straight club and I might decide to dance quite feminine, like, and then either being pushed or like commented on or something like that, you know, like while I'm out, those sorts of things. Whereas I don't have to worry about that if I'm going to a gay club or on a gay weekend. Like I don't need to worry about the way that I'm dancing. I don't need to worry about who I'm talking to. I don't need to worry about fighting. I find that happens a lot. I don't feel as comfortable in straight clubs because I feel like there's a lot of aggression. I feel that now, if I'm honest.
I went to a straight club a couple of weeks ago in Belfast, and it was like a zoo. I was like, what the fuck are these people doing?
It's just something else. It's a different beast.
Next level. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
Girls all dressed up, and then they think they can just rule the roost and push everyone around and stuff. And I'm like, go away.
I know.
Go away from me. Just because you're a woman, you don't think anyone's going to hit you. I won't hit a woman, but I won't hit a man either. So
I would hit a woman.
Well, so yeah, they'd have to do something like they'd have to keep going at you, I guess. But
I wouldn't actively go out and say I'm going to punch a woman tonight. But if a woman's hitting me, I'd be like, listen, I'm going to give you one more warning, then I'm going to come for you.
Yeah. But they assume that no one will ever touch them. They've got this belief that like no man will ever touch them, and a straight person probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, all I'll say is I don't think violence is the answer to anything. And there's a message. I'm not like, I don't want to say that, okay, I think it's okay to hit women. I don't think it's okay for anyone to hit anyone.
Yeah.
But if you go to hit somebody, male or female, you need to be prepared to be hit back, male or female.
I agree.
I'm not saying go to hit people. I'm just saying.
Yeah. But exactly. You're inclusive when it comes to who you're gonna hit if they behave.
I will hit everyone and anyone, regardless of sexuality, age, ability.
Ability. What? Like, I don't know about disabilities now. Depends on what the
If somebody rolls over my foot on the
Oh,
wheelchair, they'll get punched in the face.
oh my god.
Slightly off topic again. My brother, I don't know if I should talk about it. I don't think he listens anyway. But he woke up the other day and he's got this thing called Bell's palsy. He woke up and
I can't remember what it is.
his face is paralyzed. Half his face is paralyzed. He just woke up and it just appeared overnight. So when he talks, he smiles, like everything's. It looks like
It's like that forever now.
no. But they say up to 9 months.
What? So now, currently, his face, half his face stopped moving.
Yep. So So last night we were sitting, and I take the piss because it's me. But he's sitting there and he's laughing, but it's there.
He's like,
But it's like his, and because he can't control the muscle. He has to wear like over his eye to stop it drying out.
out of nowhere.
And the drool. He's been really sick. He's been really sick for a week, just like a flu, like a stomach flu, and he's been ill. I've been keeping my distance. Like, I don't want your fucking diseases.
So it's supposed to like go back to normal later at some point.
Yeah, well, they say up to 6 to 9 months, but I mean, it could be a few weeks. Depends. Like, they don't know.
Crazy.
It got worse today because his hearing started to go in his ear.
Maybe it's not that. I've been watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy.
Ooh.
I mean, like, you need to get a second opinion is all I'm saying.
Yeah, well, that's true. Well, he's on all this medication now, but we'll see.
Crazy. That would be so annoying.
And my brother.
Is it just his face?
Just his face. No, just his face. Yeah, but he's so vain. It couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Oh, yeah. That's how you're smiling as you're saying this. No one saw, but he was like, "Oh my god."
Do you know what I do? Like, he's my little brother. I do love him. And obviously, if it was anything serious, I mean, it's quite serious. But if it was me, I wouldn't care. But he's the type of person who's like, I can't go out of the house now for 6 months. I'm like, Keith, get over yourself. Nobody cares.
If it was you, it'd be very different. Come on now.
I don't care.
That is bullshit. If half your face stopped moving, you'd be like, this is awful. And you would consider about how much people can see you. Especially at the start. Eventually you'd be like, I need to leave the house. I can't be here forever. But when you drink your pints of Guinness, you have to sip it through a straw. Wouldn't you? You'd be able to sip the whole pint. Huh?
I'd be fine with that.
You wouldn't be fine. Man, you chat so much shit, it's not even funny. You'd be fine with it. You might be able to cope and deal with it a bit better, but you would not be fine. You wouldn't be able to just continue the rest.
I wouldn't say I choose this, but I wouldn't sit and mope around and think the world's over.
You have no perspective.
The problem is I have too much perspective because I know there's stuff out there that's a lot worse than my face being drippy. I could be, no legs. There's a lot worse that happen to people.
Oh, my face on me when you go to the doctors. They'd be like, oh, it's this. Oh, okay, fine. Should we go to McDonald's? Like, that's not going to happen.
I'm like, yeah, no. Yeah. But I would be like,
okay, cool.
I'd be like,
I need to go Christmas shopping. Like,
no, but I would be more like, the doctor, your face is dripping. I'm like, is it going to kill me? No. Am I stuck with it for life? No. What's worse? Celiac disease, because you can't eat this ever again. I'm like,
I can bring it back to the celiac, Oh
bring it back to me. No, it is tough, and obviously I wish him a speedy recovery.
Yeah, some other blank statement.
Yeah, reading off a script. Then I woke up and it was there. Again, went off on tangent. What were we talking about?
That was the end of that, really.
Oh yeah, that's right, the woman. Yeah, I'll hit anybody.
That bitch needs to be here. I can't believe she's doing that, boy. Black on black crime is not the one. We support our sisters and our brothers.
But then that's a big thing in this. Like, I know that in the States, like I know a lot of people like Morgan Freeman was saying, Black Lives Matter. A lot of his his criticism of that movement was Black lives do matter, and we need to look at ourselves as well. Like, it's not.
It's not just white people killing black people.
No, No. Nobody should kill anyone.
But yeah, I think there's a lot of black on black hate, as they say. And that is just an extreme version for these vulnerable people that are paying thousands of dollars to go abroad.
It takes a real fucking bitch to sit and say these people are vulnerable and I'm going to exploit them. It happens, though. It happens.
You have to be truly evil. I believe that.
People need to be more switched on. In today's age, with social media and the internet, more switched on.
What's really bizarre to me, though, is like, when I was watching the video, I was like, this must be a parody. I was waiting for the joke. Like, you know, when the first couple of lines are quite serious. And like, even the headline would be like, you know, when they said, when she said it's to escape white people, I was like, this is clearly a joke video. I can't wait to laugh. And it just continued. And it was not a parody. It was completely serious. And I was like, fuck. I went on the website, read about it, and I was like, shit, it's for reals. Then today I was like, oh, it's actually just a scam. Or it turned into a scam somehow.
I can't, like, let's see. She's got social and everything. Instagram, 20,000 followers on Instagram this page has.
It's insane.
One of her categories is vegan. That says a lot.
She's a vegan yoga like sort of person, but she has no qualifications. She's self-diagnosed like a healer.
Her last post on Instagram was November 14th, so not that long ago.
It's happening now.
Yeah, but unless she literally just this couple of weeks has decided to go rogue.
Oh no. I mean, not that she hasn't gone rogue. I said she may have gone missing. She hasn't. But since people are saying it's a scam. But I'm saying that it's happening now. People are going now. You can see the website's still up. If the website was up, if it wasn't going on anymore, the website wouldn't be up, would it?
No, that's true. But some of the stuff here, like on her, I don't know. One of the things on Instagram here, it says on the color black, blackball, blackmail, blacklist, black market. Have you ever wondered why most references to the color black have a negative or demeaning connotation?
If you look at the website, all of the core stuff.
I would go on this. Well, I mean, I can identify as a black woman and go on this.
It looks professional, and all of that I've seen on are like true.
People need to be smarter where they're spending the money.
Anyway, I don't want to have to edit this out, so let's start.
Yeah. Thanks for we've no new review. Nobody has left us reviews.
It's like Christmas season, I guess, but no, it's all bullshit. Leave some reviews.
The Christmas season should be encouraging people to share happiness and love, and Facebook reviews or iTunes reviews or everything. Yeah. But yeah, thanks everyone for listening.
We hope that you have a lovely week full of Christmas parties and hangovers.
Yeah, lots of hangovers. Right, my sausages are done. I need to go and eat them.
Oh shit, you never went to go get them, boy. They're going to be black as everyone at the Women of Colour. I'll be retreat. Have a lovely week, Ashley.
Bye, everyone.